welcome to a new update to my goals for 2025, and it is the last update for 2025 because if you're watching it today as the video goes online, we already have 2026. So we're going to take a look at the last year, and we're going to take a look at what's going to be in 2026. And as I started last year, I think I started last year for my languages, I'm using the 12-week year and we are continuing with that. The only little issue I had with the last block, the last 12 weeks, is that I switched my system and I'm not really that used to it. Not yet. So I fell a little behind. I fell a little bit off the wagon, but we're going back to how it was, hopefully, and you will see in a second that I changed one of the goals. I'm just to the new quarter because I did nothing for it. But now let's go into the last 12-week year in the last update for 2025. So we are here in my Notion, and as you can see in my live progress bar, we have the last day of 2025 today, as I'm recording that. So we have all the numbers, and you can already see that I didn't finish everything. I did finish I haven't yet entered for today, but that's totally fine. Wait, it doesn't count today anymore. Today is not in there. Anyway, we're at 72%, and I think that's the highest I ever did for Spanish. But I have to say, I can scroll a little bit down and you see I did miss on a lot. Anyway, the main problem with that was that I just didn't reach for my new 12-week year as much as I used to reach for my old. As I mentioned in the last update, I changed my integration of my 12-week year, and so I'm not as much on this page as on my personal dashboard with my master task list, and that's kind of still a little bit of an issue, but I'm working on it and I'm hoping that the first quarter in 2026 will be better. Now, what was my goal for Spanish? And you may see there are no other goals. I did pack the Japanese into the first quarter of 2026 because I did nothing in 2025 in the last quarter for Japanese. So I'm just pushing it into the new quarter, and I'm just pushed it out of here. And that means we only have Spanish restart in here, but that's fine. Now, I did do a lot in the first weeks. I just didn't do the Spanish recording, and I already mentioned that in my previous video, I think, that it's kind of hard for me to find topics to talk about. So we are going to tackle that in the new quarter. I also did miss a few of my Linguna and a few more Linguna down here. And you see, that's November. And November was a really, really bad month for me for Spanish or for language learning. So you see, I missed a lot there. And I didn't do any of my weekly reflections. I just completely forgot about them. And I need to get back on that, but we're all humans. We can miss out sometimes, and it was a new system, an old system in a new structure, so I need to get used to it. And you can start from the first day at 100%. So we're going to get used to that in the new quarter, in the new year, whatever. Now, as you can see, we have finished with this 12-week year and we're moving on to the next, and I have the next one up here, and we're just going to switch over And you can see we have the Japanese here and the Spanish here. And the Spanish main focus will be on speaking. Because, like I said, I want to speak more freely. I want to be able to speak without hesitation and just getting used to speaking in Spanish and also find topics to speak about it. And that's why we're going with that. Now, we have Japanese in here again, and I lied to you a little bit earlier. I did do something in Japanese, and that was the One Piece, because I continue watching One Piece, but I just took everything I did, well, from the list, because it was just One Piece and the 12 minutes Japanese daily, and only for like a few days. It wasn't worth the keeping. Anyway, we have another goal, but the goal is hidden because, like I said, somewhere in my previous updates, I have my personal private goals also in here because I want everything on one place, and I'm not gonna show you that. That's my things private. That are some things that are not yet ready to be talked about, and so we are keeping that hidden. Anyway, we have for Japanese, like I said, I just kept it at One Piece and 10 minutes Japanese daily. That's everything in here. Just took a little bit to load. And then we have for Spanish speaking. I did add one task for each day, only one. That's everything we're going to get for Spanish, because I want to focus on the speaking. Everything around that, everything extra, will just not be on the 12-week year. Because I think if you have multiple tasks in the 12-week year, your brain gets just fried. So we're going down with that. And I have like a little bit of a speaking topic or speaking description or whatever each day. And with each day another topic, or sometimes repeat and recap. And the weekly recap mean talk about what happened in the week. So quite simple this time. And I can give you the list if you're interested in also, well, starting with speaking. And I think I have it wrong here. Yes, this should be the same. I did the last 4 weeks are just the same. Always repeating, and yeah, I just kind of build it like that. Here is kind of build the habit, very easy tasks, very easy topics, and then go deeper and deeper. And it's not about perfection, it is about getting started, getting into the habit of speaking daily. And also it is only speaking. It doesn't concern the vocabulary, it doesn't concern the reading, nothing. Not even listening. So we are just going with speaking for this time. And that's already everything for the plan for the first quarter of 2026. And now you can let me know down in the comments if you're also using a system for your goals, what system you use, what your goals are for the new year, and we will see each other for an update for my goals in April for the review of the first quarter of 2026. If you're interested in that, please subscribe, hit the bell, whatever, and hopefully we can keep each other accountable again and have fun learning languages without pressuring us too much. So see you next time.